Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Cal Griffin here, back with another banger. Legends Talk, hashtag Legends Talk. You know what it is, man. Tonight we got my guy BG, Brian Gardenhire. You know what I'm saying? You may know him from LES Express, the commissioner. We're gonna get into a little bit about where he's been. There my man go right there, man. Just spoke him up. Let's get him in here so we could get the proceedings on the way. I got my
Cal, what's good, Brody?
BG was good, bro.
My
How
guy,
you,
how
man?
you?
I'm alright, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. It's another good, blessed evening, man. So we just here, man. Just trying to make it work, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Trying to think of a master plan.
That's a fact.
You know it. But yo, man, before we get into the proceedings, man, I like to just shout out my sponsor for this platform. Soul Pack. Soul Pack, they manufacture excellent quality
Sure.
bags for the ballers out there. They also got me right over here with the
That's tough.
Soul Pack mask with the elephant
Ooh.
print joint. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them, man. You know what I'm saying? They're doing great things in the community. They're
Right.
doing great things for the basketball community especially. But
Nah, big shout to them. They sponsored LES a few years, man, and they were good to us, man, and all the hoopers, man, love Soul Pack. So
yeah,
big shout to
definitely,
them.
man. Salute, man. But yeah, man, you hear it, man. All things hoops, man. You,
All
you
things
made
hoops.
you made it, BG. You made it.
That's a fact.
Nah, man, it's a pleasure to have you. You know what I'm saying, as a guest on this platform. We try to shine a light on everybody that has pitched in any way to the basketball culture. And
Right.
you, my man, you know what I'm saying, you have been instrumental in shaping the basketball landscape. Not only for
Appreciate that.
for LES, for the Lower East Side, but for New York City as a whole. So salute to you. And you know what I'm saying, I know you
Appreciate
got
you.
a lot of things going on, but with no further ado, man, I gotta give you the proper intro. Brian BG, Gardenhire, you know what I'm saying, CEO and founder of LES Express. LES is
Sure.
Learn, Educate, and Succeed.
Yep.
You guys are much more than just a league. You guys have, like, down to college placement, job placement,
Yep.
things like that. So you guys are really helping out the community and the youth that you guys serve in that community as well. To speak to your resume, you also have coached on the college level.
Mhm.
You've coached at the ASA
Yep.
at the JUCO level
Yep.
for about 4 years. You also run and manage your own sport. What's the terminology I'm looking for here? Not a trainer, but skills development,
Player development. Yep.
training platform. Be Great Sports Training.
Yep.
And before that, you probably best one of the best cats one of the best cats to lace them up out of that LES area. So with
Sure.
no further ado, Brian, BG Gardenhire, man, welcome to the platform, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That was beautiful, man. And you know, for me, man, I just I don't like to talk about accolades and different things because for me, it's more powerful to give back and to influence others, man. You don't really show your true wealth until you put somebody else in position to be great. So that's
Yeah.
all I worry about, man. You know what I mean? But salute to all those things, man. Those are definitely great transitions in my life, and that was allowing me to be who I am today, and
Right.
I'm thankful for it. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely, man. And like I was saying earlier, man, you know, for your area, man, LES is a relatively small area, compared to the New York, the whole entire New York City. But
Right.
it's so much. It's so kind of packed in with so much talent, so many creative people just kind of in that little area. Can you tell me a little bit about what LES, as that area that you were raised in, what that actually means to you? You know what
Right.
I'm saying, in the greatest the greater scope of things.
I mean, for me, it means everything. Like you kind of handpicked and talked about it. It's very diverse. It's only really about a 3 mile radius. But you have so much diversity in the communities. You'll have in one area you got Chinatown, the other area you got Little Italy. You go down another couple of blocks, you have a whole Jewish area. So it's super diverse. It's super diverse. It's super diverse, and it really meant everything to me, man. Being from there, um, it was a lot of talent. It was a lot of talent, and I was one of the few people that was able to take my talents outside of LES, because we had a lot of things that went down there. Big shout out to the Boys Club, who I was a member of, Pitt Street Boys Club, who did a lot for me, and Henry Street Settlement. But I was able to translate, basketball, and be able to build relationships, and also do my thing other places, and kind of give recognition, and give notoriety to the LES. So for me, that's what I always put it on my back, man. Like I will always, make sure people knew that that's where I was from, because it was cool to be from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? It was cool to be from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? It was cool to be the cat from the Bronx. You know what I mean? And Kips Bay and Castle Hill. But being from LES, that ain't really pop out to people. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, right.
I had to make sure everywhere I went that I had it on my back. You know?
Right, right, definitely, man. Even before I met you, man, I knew that you was, you was a LES representative, and for lack of better words, man, you've kind of been like the spokesman
Right.
for that area. And, you know what I'm saying, and I highly commend that and salute you for that. And but in terms of basketball, man, you've been. You were a player before you were a
Oh yeah,
commissioner,
yeah.
obviously. And
No, I definitely. I mean, I hooped for a long time. Like, you know what I mean? I went to, just in a short span, I went to LaSalle, then I transferred to St. Anthony's. I also went to Notre Dame Prep, which is a powerhouse of basketball, if anybody knows basketball. You know what I'm saying? K, what's good, K? And then I went to junior college in New York, Westchester Community College, which was back then was one of the top junior colleges in New York, outside of Monroe and Globe at the time. You know what I mean? So I played ball, and then outside of after that, after college and playing at the University of Rhode Island and doing a little bit, over professionally, I wanted to play street ball. Like street ball was my biggest thing. Like I always wanted to play on the circuit. Like, you know what I mean? Because for me, I grew up going to Rucker Park. Like, you know what I'm saying? I grew up waiting on that long line at 55th, you know what I mean? To watch
yeah,
all the NBA guys come and not know who. Like, you didn't know who was coming out. You know what I'm saying? So, I always wanted to make sure, like, that I played in everything. Like, you know what I mean? Being from LES, all we really had and knew about was West Fourth. Like, West
right,
Fourth was just like, West Fourth was like our NBA. You know what I'm saying? But, as I got older, traveling and playing high school ball, you have the UDCs of the world, you had the IS8s, you learned about all the other street ball tournaments. So I just wanted to make sure, like, that, being from LES, that I was able to, like, be the man outside my hood. Like, everybody's the man in their hood, you know what I mean? But
right, right.
you kind of challenge yourself to say, all right, if I'm nice, I want to go somewhere else and let somebody else tell me I'm nice. So,
Mm-hmm.
I made it my business to try to play in every tournament in New York, which was impossible. You know what I'm saying? But,
Yeah, yeah.
I was able to touch a lot of them. Like, I was able to play, like, I got a chip at Kingston Park, like, going back in the days. That's Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was one of the biggest tournaments before Gersh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a chip in West Fourth. I got a chip in
My fault.
Kingdom. Nah, you good. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I played in Kingdom. You know what I mean? I played in 55th. I played in, You know, I got a chip in Pro City, like, you know what I mean? That dudes don't even know about. Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
With
right,
salute to James Ryan. Like, I got a chip with Prime Time. Like, so, you know, I was able to play and do my thing. And just for me, it wasn't about, because basketball is pretty much what you make of it. But for me, it was just about getting respect from everybody. So,
right.
like, when people give you your respect and they give you that head nod, like, yo, that's BG. Like, you know, like, you know what I mean? You know that you did something in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you got tier one, you got tier two, you got tier three players. Like basketball, New York City is the city of gods. So like for me, in my class, you had Ben Gordon, you had, you know, Andre Barrett, you had all those dudes, you had Julius
Yeah,
Hyde,
yeah,
you
yeah.
had, like, those is killers. Like, you know what I mean? Like you would have 3 or 4 All Americans in one, you know what I'm saying? One class from New York.
That like 99, right? 99?
That was I graduated 2001. You know what I'm saying? But I did a post grad year, so I really supposed to graduate in 2000. But you know, you had those type of killers, bro, that you had to go against. So you knew you wasn't gonna be politically the top dog. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
But you played to get respect, and you played to get the best out of them sometimes. So playing ball, that's just what I try to do, man. And like I said, I was just able to travel, being from LES, to play in leagues and do my thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And get a name and have people respect me on that level. So
Right,
when it came time to run my league, it was easy. Like it was easy to get people to come down to LES because they knew who I was. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right. We gonna get into that in just a couple seconds, but before we do get into that, man, I'd like to ask you. You know, I'd like to rewind all the way back to the beginning, man.
Mm-hmm.
Where, at what age did you pick up the basketball, and when did you start really taking it serious and think that maybe you can do something like, go to college and play ball and maybe overseas and things of that nature.
I mean, for me, it was I picked up the ball late, bro. Like, you know, I played, I messed around with it, but I didn't get good until like 13. You know what I mean? 13, 14, which was crazy. That was like 7th, 8th grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then even and then, you know, salute to Smush Parker. That's my brother. Like me and
Come on.
Smush went to the same junior high school. Like if people didn't know that, like we played in the same junior high school.
Shout out
And
to Smush
we
Parker,
started
man.
Smush, man, who was one of the legends who don't really get a lot of love like he should. But I knew then playing with him and, you know, getting cool with him and running around and playing in different tournaments that I could do something with basketball, because from that age we was playing against the Mount Carmels of the world and all those top schools. And I would hold my own, you know what I'm saying? I would hold my own and know that I was all right, you know what I mean? And then but for me back in the day, you really knew you was good when you was able to play unlimited. Like, so for me, I started playing unlimited at like 15. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like in my hood. You know what I'm saying? So like I knew then when I could hang with them that it was like, yo, I could do something with basketball. Like I could at least get a scholarship and go from there, because I wasn't always the biggest person of stature. Like, you know what I mean? I'm only 5'9". So I wasn't the 6'2" guard, the 6'3", 6'4" guard. So I always knew it would be challenges in basketball, but I knew that I was getting the best of a lot of people. So at that time, at like 14, 15, I knew I could do something with it.
Right, right. So now, when it comes to high school time, you say you went to LaSalle.
Yeah,
Well, rumor has it you were a big at that time, probably Shamgar Wells, but y'all know him as God Shamgar. You were a big
yeah.
Shamgar fan. How much influence did he have in that you going to that school?
He had everything, bro. Like I knew nothing about LaSalle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right, right.
I didn't even know. It's crazy, bro. This is how real it is. So my mom told me after I took the test, I didn't even know it was an all boys school. You know what I'm saying? Which was crazy, like, which was crazy, bro. I was like, nah, bro. You know, we was young, we was into girls and all that. So, but yeah, man, like Sham was everything. Like growing up, that's who I idolized. Like from ball handling, anybody who you know, I won't even have to tell you. They'll tell you like BG idolized Sham, which is crazy because I got to meet him later on and work with him, and you know, he
Right,
actually
right.
gave me his respect and he gave me his blessings. But yeah, I went there to LaSalle because of him, bro. Like, it was in LES. Sham went there. Sham went to Providence, from there to the NBA. And then not even Sham, but Ron Artest was there. Ron
Yeah.
Artest went there too. So that's why I wound up going to LaSalle, because of the things that Shamgar did there. But once I got there, the politics of basketball kind of kicked in, and
Right.
I wasn't really for that. You know what I mean?
Right. Now after I mean, did you end up playing there at all, or was it like, yo, I'm out of here?
I played freshman, bro, which is crazy to people because I don't even think they have. I mean, some of the schools still have freshman teams, but I played freshman, bro, and it was like back then. It wasn't even just at LaSalle, but every Catholic school was loaded, bro. Like
Yeah.
LaSalle was
The
loaded with players,
freshman
bro.
team was loaded.
Like the freshman team is like our freshman team had Rodney Epperson, who played with Lenny Cook and wound up
Yeah.
going to St. John's.
Yeah.
But that's my salute to my man Rodney. But like our freshman team could have beat some varsity PSAL teams, AA teams.
Right.
That's how
Right.
loaded we was. Like, you know what I mean? So and I tell people it's funny, like you knew the school was loaded because intramurals was crazy. Like your
Right.
intramurals was tough. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like you had battles in intramurals. So, I wanted to play in freshman, and then I failed off my second half of the season. I finished out. They actually wound up winning the championship too. But I did well in freshman. I was averaging like 15 for freshman in LaSalle.
Right. So, all right. So you leave LaSalle and go to, you said St.
I went to
Anthony.
St. Anthony's, bro. Yep, I did a stint at St. Anthony's. I went there my sophomore year. Salute to Bob Hurley, another big mentor, influencer to me.
Legend.
Yeah, legend. So I went there my sophomore year. Just because, again, like I said, playing with Smush, and then I met Nick Gavin. Nick Gavin was a nice cat back in the days. He went to St. Anthony. So when I was playing with Smush and them at Carmine, I kind of got introduced to St. Anthony's from him. So I wound up going there, played JV there, got moved up though. That's how I made a big leap my sophomore year. Like I got really good. And then I played there. I played JV for only 4 games. I was wilding in JV. Like I was averaging 30 something. And then I got moved up to varsity. You know what I'm saying? I got moved up to varsity. And I finished out playing varsity with them. And it was good. It was a good experience, bro. But same thing, we was loaded. Elijah Ingram, I don't even know if you remember Elijah Ingram back in the days. He was tough.
I
Donald
remember that.
Copeland, Terrence Roberts, all those dudes. Like it was about 7 Division I players on that team. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So
Shout out to my man Ike too, man.
Ike, man, blessings, bro.
Yeah, man. Yo, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, man. It's a crazy time right now. You know what I'm saying, with respects to
Brandon.
this situation for Brandon, man. And
Yep.
I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying. We're gonna get into that, man. You know what I'm saying. Definitely wanted to speak to you about it. Because that topic of, you know what I'm saying, what can we do for the kids?
Right.
It's a loaded question. You know what I'm saying? We could
For
probably
sure.
speak for hours and hours, but I just pretty much wanted to get your your background for the people. Let them
Nah,
know,
for
you know what
sure.
I'm
For
saying,
sure. I
exactly
mean,
who.
for me, like I said, again, I don't like doing it because I'm in the kind of the second stage of my life where my basketball playing days is like secondary to me. But I can give a brief biography. But like I said again, I
Right.
went to St. Anthony's, played varsity there, did well, but it was kind of the same situation. The side was loaded. I knew I was gonna have to fight for minutes, so
Right.
I wound up going to St. Mary's, which is down the block, which was another Catholic school, which was in the Hudson County. If anybody from Jersey, they know what the Hudson County is. But I went there, was all county there. You know what I'm saying? First salute to all county. I was all county for my junior year and my senior year. You know what I mean? I was first team all county, second team all state of New Jersey. I played in every all-star game in New Jersey that you could think of as a senior. But I didn't have no grades, so I didn't have no grades. I wound up going to prep school. I needed an SAT score, thinking I could get an SAT score. Wound up
What prep
going to
school?
Notre Dame Prep.
Okay.
Yeah, Notre Dame Prep is a big prep school. Mike Beasley went there.
Right.
Countless Paul Harris, Gary Irvin. I mean, the list goes on and
Larry.
on. Yeah, salute to Gary. You know what I mean? But I wound up going there for a year. Carl Krauser, salute to my brother Carl Krauser.
Oh man.
But yeah, the list goes on and on. But I went there, did well there. Again, salute to Ryan Gomes. Ryan Gomes was one of my teammates. I don't know if you remember Ryan Gomes. He
Yeah,
played for
yeah,
the
from
NBA.
Providence.
Yep, Providence, Boston Celtics. That's my brother
No,
right
yeah,
there.
right, right.
But yeah, went there, didn't get my score. And again, like I said, I had to wind up having to go to junior college. Went to Westchester Community College, did well there. My backcourt mate was my brother Jay High. Always got to shout him out to the
Yeah,
Jay High,
yeah,
Jason McLeish. That's my brother, man, for life. But
absolutely.
did well there under Coach Nick. Rest in peace, Coach Nicholas. We won the region championship there. So I did well there. Had a stint at the University of Rhode Island. Didn't finish out there though, due to certain things that happened. But that was my basketball career, man. And then I had a couple of professional gigs in Mexico City, which was dope, and in Israel. And then that was the end of my playing career, man. I only played like 3 years after college. You know what I mean? And like I told you again, I was just really so heavy into being home. I was a homebody, so for me, it was the overseas thing wasn't for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right, right.
you know, I
Not
come
for
from
everybody,
I
man.
come from a 2-parent home. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it wasn't what it was caked up to be. It's a tough life, man. Like, you got to really be mentally tough to be able to deal with that.
No,
So
absolutely.
so I just came home and just decided to do some work in my community. You know what I mean? So I started working for a non-for-profit, which was dope, and it kind of introduced me to kind of running programs and building my own structure for LES.
No, that's crazy, man. That because the overseas thing isn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
And I mean, you tried it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't your cup of tea, and
right.
you were able to pivot off of that, and you know what I'm saying? And look, man, look where it's leading you. So,
That's a
you know what
fact.
I'm saying? Definitely, yeah, everything is meant to happen for a reason. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe in that.
But so in terms of the like the impact that you guys have been having for the LES community. Like, can you talk about a little bit about how, like, exactly how you got started, like in terms of the logistics and because it's just not anybody just can't pick up and say, yo, I want to run the league, or I'm gonna run it right here, get your shirts, and you know what I'm saying, you get five, I get five, and
Right,
you know what I'm saying, how did you guys start?
right. So hold on 1 second, bro. Let me just get my charger.
All
My
right,
phone about to die. My fault, bro. But
now you
nah.
good.
So like the logistics basically started. Like I said, I was working non for profit for 10 years. For 10 years, and you know, I decided that what the protocols and different things that my where I was working at was they wasn't servicing the people in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like they gave the kids a platform and an outlet, but for me, everybody, as much as we preach about education, as much as we preach about kids going to college, everybody's not going to have that path. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So it's going to be the kids that's going to go to trade schools, that's going to learn how to be a barber or a plumber or electrician, or it's so many other things you can do outside of going to college. You know what I mean?
right, right,
And I love that. I mean, I push college, I push education, but at the same time, I'm a realist in knowing that when you grow up a certain way, there are certain things that you are just not you are not influenced by, or you're not entertained by. So my biggest thing was, okay, how do we get kids to learn how to play basketball? One, be a good student. Excuse me, be a good student first, play basketball, and then have outlets, right? So how do we teach the kids from young, right? How to design, how to be a web designer, or
right,
how to be a photographer, how to be a videographer. If we could
right,
teach them that now, then by the time they finish college, they have another outlet for them to make money off of. If they don't make the
right.
NBA, or if they don't go overseas.
You're right.
And I was fighting battles with my program directors and the people from the program. And I said, you know what? I gave you guys 10 years. You know what I'm saying? It's my time now to do what I have to do. But I tell people all the time, I worked for somebody, but I learned from them. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I learned how the non-for-profit game worked. I learned how to organize and build curriculums. I learned how to get grants and funding. I learned how to hire the correct people. So a lot of times we want to do things, but we're not educated. We're not educated on how to be able to do it in a certain
Right.
manner, and so it won't manifest. So that was always my biggest thing on just learning, man, learning. So in 2011, I said, you know what? I'm gonna start my own program. You know what I mean? And I said I'm gonna start it through tournaments. You know what I mean? I'm gonna first get the kids to wheel them in with the tournaments, because the tournaments is always what people want to do and want to see. And then when I wheel them in, we're gonna start with workshops first, and then we're gonna build up to having a full base program. And I did that, man. I started just with high school. We did a high school league. It was only like 8 teams. You know what I'm saying? It was only like 8 teams
Right.
in the high school in the league. And it was cool, man. It was cool. It was no violence. It was we had a great tournament. We gave the kids trophies. But like you said, we started with t-shirts. You know what I mean? Like we started with t-shirts, and I was okay with that. Like I didn't care about it, because for me it was more about the platform. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Humble beginnings, man.
humble beginnings, man, and I was cool with that. So that's where we started at, and then the very next year, bro, a lot of you not. I got a call, and I always tell people, man, everything in life is based on how you treat people, and how you follow up with people. But salute to Bobito Garcia, obviously you know who that is, who's always
Bito.
been a mentor of mine, and Paul Rivera. Salute to PR, Paul Rivera, who
Right.
is one of LeBron's biggest advocates, and roll with the winners, and he does all that magnificent things. But I got a call from them the next year, bro, and they put our tournament at the Nike Riverton Court, which was one of the first tournaments ever in the world to have a hardwood floor out there, and it was just like crazy. You know what I mean?
So,
So from there, the tournament just took off, bro. It just took off, man. And we had a dual sponsorship that year. We had our high school tournament was sponsored by Nike, and the Unlimited tournament was sponsored by Above the Rim.
wow, that's tough, man. In terms of the sponsorship, was that a little tricky in obtaining, or did you reach out to them, or did they reach out to you? Like, how did that partnership come about?
Nah, it was cool. Nike reached out. Paul, like I said, Bobito made a call,
Oh, okay,
and then
okay.
PR pretty much was at that time he was with Game 7. Salute to Game 7.
Game seven.
Salute to Justin Leonard, man, a big brother of mine. But salute to them.
That's great, man.
Those guys over there, that whole team. But they hit me up and they was like, "Yo, BG, like you are the LES. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We can't have this and not have you a part of it." So they
Right,
they
right.
made it happen. And then on the Above the Rim side, salute to my brother Caesar, man. Caesar's a dope dude. I don't know if you know him, Cal, but he used to work with K1X, which was dope too.
Right, right.
But Caesar put me on at the time. He was head of marketing for Above the Rim, and he was like, "Yo, listen." He's like, "Anything you doing, I know it's gonna be upward spiral," and he gave me a chance, bro. We was the only tournament at that time that was Above the Rim, which was Reebok. So we
Yeah,
had we had we had Reebok and Nike.
yeah. Nah, hey, okay. There ain't no better than that, man. You can't have no better than that right there, man.
Yeah, Zeke, what up,
Right.
man? Salute to Isaiah Whitehead on the check-in.
Zay Whitehead, man, what's
Get on
good,
my
man?
nerves, but salute to him.
Yo, y'all two be going at it, man, all day long.
Nah,
But
yeah, that's my
yo,
brother, man.
you seem like a guy, man, that really kind of roll your sleeves up and get your hands dirty type of dude, man.
Right.
Where did you develop that kind of attitude, growing up?
You know what's crazy? I've always seen it, but I wasn't the person to actually take action on doing it. But when it came down to me growing up and maturing, I really had that mindset to kind of be the person that is the leader. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's easy to be the big dog and be behind the scenes and say, yo, this is my tournament or this is my program. But when you're on the front lines, it ignites people to want to be a part of what you're doing.
Right.
And I seen the lack of that in tournaments, like when I was playing. You know what I mean? And you know, I didn't get to it, but like for me, the reason of running my tournament was to prepare, to give people a platform, and then to place people. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like there were so many people in New York that were really good in basketball, but they didn't have opportunities outside of the tournaments. So like I didn't see tournament directors calling guys and saying, "Yo, I'm gonna call this coach and you're gonna get a workout and let's see what happens." Like I seen so many people have the story of, "Yo, nobody helped me," or "I didn't know what to do," or "I didn't know where to go." So that was my motivation, bro, in running a league. And it's crazy because I was still playing. Like I was still running around the tri-state and running back and forth to tournaments and then coming to my tournament to set up. Like people would literally see me with a West 4th uniform setting up the park. You know what I'm saying? But I took pride in that because my grandfather always told me that you can't blame nobody when you do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I always, that was my approach all the time with running LES. And then like you said, also with the training and all the other stuff that I do, man, I feel like you got to put your hard hat on and get dirty because you see all these trainers now, man, they not doing nothing. Like they just telling guys, yo, go between legs and shoot a jump shot. Like I want to show you how to do it, and I want to be just as sweaty when we finish the workout as you, because you want to feel that presence of somebody really putting the pain in with you. You know what I'm saying?
Now let me stop you right there, right, and ask you this question, right? Because, like you just said, well, you said it in so many words that the training game right now, you know, as well as every other thing, in with respect to grassroots basketball, even like the media, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's so saturated, right? And
Right.
at this time, it seemed like people were just kind of coming out the woodwork and calling themselves trainers. You know what I'm saying? They got a kid, they make them run around a couple cones or a couple chairs, and now you
Right.
charging $10, $15, $20 for a workout.
It monetized, man. You know, Cal, and it's sad because you know, what happened was social media and training kind of clicked off in the same time.
Yeah.
So like as social media got big, you seen trainers start like kind of, you know, getting into it. You know what I mean? And I always tell people I never called myself a trainer because I was just doing it naturally. You know what I mean? That was me naturally. Even when I played, I used to train and teach guys moves and be like, yo, nah, shoot this way, or like that was always my nature to do that. Salute the glasses, man. Glasses, love you, man. Hold your head up. You know what I'm saying? We praying for you. But that was my that was just in my nature. But to the point you said is guys seen that they can make money off training, and they say, you know what, I could just put a video together and do this, and now I'm this. And what happened is because of social media, you didn't really need any hard evidence on the person's background. You know what I'm saying? So because you see them dribbling like and no disrespect to nobody, like I got respect for everybody, but you see guys that could just maybe dribble the basketball and they got 10,000 followers, and now they lit because social media, their social media following is like this, but these guys can't make a layup in a real game. So it's like you want somebody that can make a layup, or that somebody that really put in work, or somebody that really killed, or you want somebody who can put together a nice video. And that was my biggest thing. And that's why even to this day, salute to my man, my brother, man, who's a part of our team. But heck be laughing at me because he'd be like, yo, BG, you be all over the place with your videos. But I'd be like, yo, I'm moving around with my videos. Like I don't care because I'm so into it, bro. And it doesn't, for me, it's not about the video. It's about the finished product. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Now, even with media, man, that's my issue with even like media things that I do in terms of like photography, videography, or anything like that, is that a lot of kids, they don't even care that they had you know what I'm saying? They'll come up to you and ask you
They
for
just want a
pictures,
mixtape.
and they had 3 points and 3 points and 10 turnovers. You know what I'm saying? But you
Right.
you might have caught them on a nice picture. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? When they dunking or whatever, they trying to even you know what I'm saying. There's dudes that take a picture. It looks great. You know what I'm saying? But you missed
Right.
that dunk. I remember I was there. I saw you miss that dunk, and it looked
Right.
crazy though. But now you posting it. Now you getting 3 million likes and you lit. Right,
Yeah.
but nobody even knows that you missed that dunk though, and you
Right.
fouled out with 3 points and 10 turnovers. You know what I'm saying? But I guess social media is a gift and a curse.
Right.
With respect to this basketball game and this
Hmm.
this culture. But we take it for what it's worth. And do you feel like these trainers or skills development people that work in that field, they need to be certified in terms of who are you? You know what I'm saying? What tournaments have you played in? Where
Right.
have you what schools did you play in? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
before somebody can say this is an accredited trainer and here's my money, I want to know where you've been. You know what I'm saying? What's your name? What did Duke Tango call you? What did you know what I'm saying? Like I need to know some things, some prerequisites.
No,
But
I mean for me, I think definitely you're 100% right. And I used to be kind of the bad news bears, man, when it came to social media, man. Like I used
yeah,
to
yeah,
always be like, yo, I ain't feeling this, I ain't feeling that, and I used to be the advocate of yo, blah blah blah. But I
right,
think over time, like you said, you learn that it's a gift and a curse. But I just tell parents, and I even tell kids, man, just do your homework. You know what I mean? Like, because even nowadays, man, nowadays dudes can make fake Wikipedias. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't never really know what's
right,
real and what's fake. You know what I'm saying? So you have to personally do your homework and find out about what it is, because you will see what the person is really about when you work out with them. You know what I mean? So for me, training and development is not all about the basketball part. It's about the mental part. So that's why you see me be able to have great relationships with the people who I work with, because it's bigger than basketball. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody really cares about you personally, then the basketball part is gonna come easy.
right.
But for a lot of these guys, they just about a check. So they're gonna put you through 5 drills that they masterminded before they got to you, and by the time you know it, the hour's up. You barely sweated. You know what I'm saying? You barely got better, and now they asking for their $100.
Right,
But
right.
so you got to do you know what I'm
or,
saying? Like,
or maybe copy something from YouTube that somebody else did, and
and,
hey,
and, and, exactly, and it's
I'm a
crazy. So I
YouTube
tell
hustler
people,
too, man. But then,
yeah, it's dudes just crazy, bro. Like, and that's why I tell people, I'll be like, in this life we live in, it's not it's not how many followers you got, but it's about who's following you. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So for me, I only got four little thousand measly followers. But if
Chill
you go
out,
through the
chill out,
people that's following me, you'll be
chill.
surprised. Like you'll see a lot of
Don't
blue checks. You'll see a lot of blue checks that's following me, and I watch my stories and I watch my videos,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I know for a fact, and I've shown people and I've proven to people, yo, listen, that look very familiar. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna keep it funky. Like I'm cognizant of the number of followers and all that, but honestly, I don't even pay attention to that until I get to like 10,000.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
even
yeah, for
pay
sure.
attention to it. Like you know what I'm saying? But yo, BG, I ain't gonna even lie to you, man. I had a lot of questions. I had a lot of questions geared up for this interview.
Talk to me. Yeah.
Um, but in the same breath, I do wanna chop it up with you, regarding
Oh, for
the
sure. Yeah,
whole
you talked about that.
situation, the whole situation in New
Of
York City
course.
right now.
Yep. That's most
With
important.
respects to the young kid, Brandon Hendricks, who unfortunately lost his life 4 days after his high school graduation due to some senseless violence. And I tune into your lives every now and then when when you have somebody up and for the last few days, man, you've been having some real impactful conversations about this topic and about what we can do as a whole to to give our youth resources and to
Right.
just to give them some better role models out there and to take accountability for everybody take accountability for themselves in terms of what can you do to help the situation.
Right.
So what I'm saying with respects to all the questions that I had, man,
Nah, we good, bro.
we could
I
do
love that.
a part 2, 3, or whatever the case.
We
But I
good.
do want to pick your brain about that situation and what you think that we can do in terms of the basketball community to help rectify these kids out here, man, killing each other, man. And not only kids but grown men. You know what I'm saying? And just to add to that really quickly, and I'll let you go, and I'll let you speak. But back in our time, man, we had a lot of different centers and places that we can go for refuge. I had Millbank.
Yep.
That was my home base. You had the Boys Club. There's things like Henry Street Settlement.
Yep.
This the list goes on of how many resources we had back then. Do you
Right.
feel that the lack of these institutions or programs and centers is a catalyst to this our youth kind of killing each other?
I mean, first and foremost, rest in peace to Brandon Hendricks, B Diddy, who lost his life to gun violence. But there's been 89 shootings in the last 9 days. Well, now 11 days, um, and that's the highest it's been for a very long time.
Right.
And it's due to the lack thereof of, like you said, first and foremost, COVID-19, the pandemic. A lot of places of businesses are closed because the city is not allowing them to be open. But these things are happening because there's no activities that are going on. You don't have no summer ball right now. You don't have no rims up on the parks. You don't have no community centers for the kids to go to. So what happens with the kids is now that they're hanging out. They're hanging out, and they're being places that they shouldn't be, and it's causing for these things to happen. And it's causing people to be angry, if we can be honest. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have money, when you don't have a summer youth job, when you don't have just anywhere you could go to kind of like to release. Sorry about you can hear me?
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
got cut
got you.
off. My fault. But to release some steam,
Right.
you get built up anger and you get built up misunderstandings. You know what I'm saying? So we need everybody, especially the tournament directors. Even though we're not having basketball tournaments, we need clinics.
Right.
We need just organized things, even if it's 3-on-3s, 2-on-2 tournaments. Even if we got to do little things, um, we have to provide activities for our kids, because if we don't provide activities for our kids, there's going to be a lot more harmless shootings and a lot more kids that are going to be losing their lives because there's not anything going on. And we know when there's not anything going on, that's when the trouble comes.
Right, right. Do you feel like you have, as a commissioner and league head, do you feel like that you guys have that responsibility on your backs to kind of strategize and come up with something that will aid our kids in finding other options and things to do?
Nah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. For me, I mean, I've always been about that. You know, I've always been about tapping into the community, and because we are the community leaders. You know, we have councilmen, we have our representatives, you know, but we are the leaders. We are the people that when you walk down the street, if we say something that people are going to listen. You know what I mean? So salute to the commissioners, to the New York City Commission, basketball commission that we just created. Um, we you know, the people that are represented in that commission, we are all going to take some type of responsibility and be advocates for change, because it's easy. It's not easy to run basketball tournaments, but it's harder to do this type of work. You know what I'm saying? And I challenge us to do that, because if we do that even for a few hours, we don't know how many lives we can save, and then we can
Right.
change the narrative. You know what I mean? Because the narrative right now is, you know, smoking your weed, getting high, you know, being on the corners, you know, doing things you're not supposed to be doing. When these kids, you know, all they really know is basketball. You know what I mean? All they really want to do is play basketball. So, you know, we just have to we have to dig deep and make sure that we on the front line.
You know, BG man, like I was thinking about it, you know, prior to getting on the line with you, man, and I think not only that, man, but I think it's the responsibility of our OGs, man, that really, you
Yes,
know, because you know we had OGs, man. When we came up, we had OGs that really,
sure.
you know, I remember blatantly people, you know, dudes coming whispering in my ear like, "Yo, shorty, get out of here, man.
Yeah, I was talking
This,
about that. Yeah,
you know,
Cal.
this ain't your, you know what I'm saying? I see you. This ain't your speed right here, man. We about to, you know what I'm saying? We about to let it go. You know what I'm saying? Something to that effect."
That's
And
real.
there will be people that tell you this, like, "Yo, get out of here, man. This life ain't, you know what I'm saying? This ain't for you." So that
Hmm.
that caused that was a major deterrent. You know what I'm saying? That I don't want to be like that. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in that mix. Like dudes
Right,
already acknowledged that that's not my flow. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right, right.
I think that's where it starts, man. And at home, you know, a lot of the parents, you know, they stressed out too. You know, we you know they facing obstacles, you know, daily obstacles. Parents losing their jobs, you know, not knowing where they're gonna get the next
Check.
situation, you know,
Yeah.
next dollars from, the rent money due, you know, the bills
Mm.
piling up. So it's stressful out here. Like, and on top of that, the COVID-19, you know, they just letting their kids just go, just roam and do whatever, so that you know they can get a breath of fresh air.
Nah,
Um,
for sure. I mean, like what happens is you know, we don't have any OGs no more. Like the
right,
OGs now, the OGs now are the kids. So the kids are looking up to the kids. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So they have you have no one of influence that can really dictate change. So back in the day, like I said, we had street code. So even with the street code, the basketball guys were excluded from the street code. So it was
right,
like, yo, if that's a if that's a basketball dude, I don't care what he did to you, he's
right,
off limits. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But now we don't have people that we don't have those older guys that are enforcing that. So you have the kids that are pretty much influencing the kids. And that's where trouble happens. You know what I mean? And then you know, touching on what you said as far as young parents, you know, you have young parents that they still want to live their life. You know what I mean? And it's not to knock them, but they are not being the disciplinaries that we need for our youth. So we have to charge the coaches and the mentors and the people from the community centers to do more. Text your kid. Text your if somebody plays for your team, text them at 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock. Make sure they're in the house.
right,
Make sure they're not in harm's way, because when you do that, you show them that it's bigger than basketball. You show them that, yo, I don't just care about you making a 3 pointer. I care about your life.
right,
So we now have to charge ourselves to go above and beyond, because we know that those things are non-existent. But I'm gonna be educating some people soon because there are some systems that are in play that we're not taking advantage of, and the city has a budget for us to take advantage of it. And there's some things that where we can police our own communities, and we can exempt the NYPD from even affecting our kids.
Right.
So I'll be once I get a lot of this information, I'll be sharing it with you so that you can share it on your platform. But it just starts with us, man. It starts with us being accountable and caring more, because when you care more, then things don't happen. You know what I'm saying? When you care less, you know, things are liable to happen.
Right.
And regardless of how we look at it, like I said, me, you, anybody that has any type of influence, we role models. You know what I mean? We role models. And we may not want to be role models, but we are looked upon and perceived that way
Right.
when we have some type of influence and some type of power.
Absolutely, man. You said that beautifully, man. I can't. I really do believe it starts at home, man. And you know, we as you know, the OGs now. You know, it's crazy to say that we're at that, you know, at that age where we're the OGs now.
We are.
Like, we have to hold each other accountable, and, you know, hold yourself accountable first and foremost. Like,
Right.
there's not enough. There's not enough going on. Like, there's not enough people holding themselves accountable for that type of you know, that type of responsibility. Salute to Hoops in the Sun, Joe
Joe Cruz,
Cruz,
Randy,
Randy
what's good, brother?
Cruz. See me, you see me, man. You see
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that
Anyways,
all-star
man,
thing.
you know, and we shouldn't have to wait for somebody else to do it for us. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to wait
Right,
for a program director to step in and text my kid. And you know what I'm saying? Are you at home, or whatever the case may be?
right.
You know, it starts with us, and it's come to a boiling point, BG. You know what I'm saying? It's come to a point where it almost feels like it almost feels like the police brutality joint for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with this situation that just passed with the George Floyd, you
Right,
know, I kind of let, you know, when it first happened, I'm like, damn, you know, like, the cops gonna get off again. You know what I'm
right,
saying? I seen the ending of this movie already. I've seen this movie
right, right, right.
too many times, and I'm a little bit numb to this situation. But um, yeah, man, like
I mean,
somebody just
even with
said.
that though, Cal, it's just that, you know, we have to educate one for another. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have to educate ourselves. What happens is things like that been happening for a long time, and we have to understand that the roads is sometimes not going to be what we want it to be, but all cops aren't bad either, and we
Right,
need
right.
and at the end of the day, we have to understand that we need the authorities, because
Yeah.
now with all these shootings, right? We got 89 shootings. Now the cops is like, okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
y'all mad at us, but we killing our own. So
Right.
before we can protest, and before we can, you know, be advocates of a cause, we have to hold ourselves accountable. We have
Right,
to
right,
say we're gonna stop doing this to ourselves first.
right. We gotta
And
police ourselves. Right,
we've been killing more of our own than cops have ever been killed of us. You know what
right,
I'm saying? So we have to first understand and educate ourselves before we want to go out and be passionate, and be rebels, and be
right,
all these revolutionaries. We have to educate ourselves, and we have to be equipped, because it's not about us protesting. It's about us voting. It's about us putting the proper people in our
right,
perspective places to be able to make these things happen. So again, like I said, it's very sad, and you know, I'm passionate. I want to be out in the fields, man. Salute to my brother Scott LaRock. He does a great job. Um, but
absolutely.
you know, we must first understand what we're doing and what we're fighting for.
Right, man. Because like somebody just said, we can't fail our kids, man. They didn't, you know, our OG didn't fail us.
Right,
So, you know, it's like, you know, how can we feel like, you know what I'm saying, like we're too isolated, or, you know what I'm saying,
right,
to kind of be away from our kids and the plight that they're going through. I mean, we went through our own plights, and there were people
Facts.
there to support us. So we got to be that support, that supporting system for the youth, man. And it's hard because like even today I posted something that Joe Hammond actually he actually said he was like, yo, a lot of people don't want to kind of jump in the fire, right? And it had totally nothing to do with this situation because I think
Right.
he even recorded this joint like years ago, right?
Mm.
But he said nobody wants to jump in a fire because they're like, yo, I'm not jumping in the fire for this. You know, if you went to college and you know what I'm saying, you did things the right way and you got a job now and you're working.
Right.
Now I'm gonna jump in the fire for this kid that's, you know what I'm saying, for some kid that I don't even really even know
Right.
that, you know, that happens to be a knucklehead or
Mm.
that's gonna get itself in trouble. You know what I'm saying? What am I gonna jump in and put my life at, you know, at risk when I have my
Right.
own family to deal with and I have my son and my daughter or whatever the case may be? Am I really gonna sacrifice myself for the sake of somebody else's children?
Right.
It's tough, man. It's really tough, man. But somebody's got to do it, and it takes a village, man.
Nah, for sure. I mean, it's very true what he says, but I mean, I think when you call to do something and you have a purpose in your life, um, it's never gonna be about what you feel. You know what I mean? It's always gonna be about the outcome and the purpose. So I tell
Right,
people all the times, you'll see when somebody's doing something for pleasure, and you'll see if somebody's doing something for purpose. Because when they're doing something for something out of for purpose, they can do it without no money. You know what I mean? And
right,
so I mean, but it's real what he says too, because everything is situational. So you know, we have to always look at the situation at hand to decide how we want to move about it.
right,
But
right,
I
right.
totally agree with you with that.
Yo, BG, man, I really appreciate you, man. We winding down right now on
Yep,
our hour, but like I said, man, we can get a part two, three,
I'm here for
whatever
you
we need.
always.
I'm around, you around, and but I really do appreciate you for all your contributions to the game, to the culture, just everything that you've been pouring your heart out in terms of you know, pushing this culture forward. So big salute to you, man. You know, I'm definitely when you guys resume, I'm
Yep,
definitely out there in full
sure.
support mode, writing articles and you know,
Love
whatever you guys need me to do. I'm you know, I'm with you, man, and we can definitely expand on this conversation.
for
But
sure.
yo,
Anytime.
man, I appreciate you, bro, and we gonna see you later, bro.
Nah, salute to you, man. Thank you for having me on the platform, man. Keep doing up the great work, man. And like I said, the basketball, it's so many layers to basketball, and you're a big part of it. And I appreciate you, man. Anytime you need me, I'm here. Salute to my sponsors, Puma. You know, everybody, man, from the brand, and yeah, I'm here. Anytime you need me, just hit me.
Salute to Puma. Puma, I need a job. What's up?
All right, bro.
All right, bro. Be good.
My man.
All right.